My presentation on the biomechanical analysis of the throw-in in soccer. So a little bit about the history of this move. Throughout time, it's been used in every position, actually. It's most commonly used by everyone except the goalkeeper, because if the goalkeeper is taking the throw-in, it's probably not in a good area, and also it leaves the goal wide open. The throw-in was first implemented into the game formally in 1883 by the FA. This move is used to get the ball in bounds after an opponent kicks it out, or if the ref isn't very good, if your own team kicks it out, but that's neither here nor there. If this move is not done properly, I broke it down between muscular issues and team issues. So some of the muscular issues could be strained back and shoulder muscles, potential rotator cuff injuries, and also abdominal strains. If you do this wrongly, you could turn the ball over to the other team. You could also have a goal scored on you by the other team. Or if you do the throw-in improperly, like not having the ball behind your head before you throw it, it gives the throw-in to the other team, so there's that. So I broke it down into two phases. The stationary phase is the first one. So as you can see, I have my little brother posing here. Your arms are bent, so your biceps are touching your forearm or as close to as possible. The ball is in your hands behind your head, resting on your back. The muscles involved in this are the biceps brachii, brachialis, and brachioradialis. These are for elbow flexion. The serratus anterior is used for the flexing of the core. Your deltoids are used for the internal rotation of your humerus and forward movement. Subscapularis is used for the internal rotation of the humerus as part of the rotator cuff. Some of the antagonist muscles include the anconeus, brachialis, rhomboids, and triceps brachii, and some stabilizers include your latissimus dorsi, core, and serratus anterior. So the throwing phase, you extend your arms so they're straight. You use the force generated from extending your arms and bringing them anteriorly. You also release the ball when it is straight over your head for best distance, and if you go any further, the referee could call it a bad throw, which, like I said in an earlier slide, would give the ball over to the other team and they would get the throw-in. Some muscles involved in this are the triceps and pectoralis minor for arm movement and elevation, levator scapulae for elevation and rotation of scapula, rhomboids and trapezius for elevation of scapula. Some antagonists include biceps brachii. That's the main one since it's mostly an arm movement here. Some stabilizers include the serratus anterior and other core muscles. Some detrimental forces for this move are air resistance, wind, and the internal resistance of joints limiting efficiency of movement. So if you don't have good shoulder flexibility, this prevents you from getting the range of motion necessary to get the amount of momentum needed to throw the ball in far. So yeah, there's that. Some forces here. So the force starts in your feet. It's transferred up through your whole body and up through your arms and transferred into the ball then. So for torque, the radius and the ulna are the effort arm, while the humerus is the resistance arm. The center of gravity just remains throughout the center of your body throughout the throw-in. So here's a video of good form.
Go ahead.
So as you can see here, I'll replay it and pause it if I can here. I can't do it in slow-mo, but he's standing still. You can also take a step, but I chose the simplified version here. He's just standing still. He's using the force from his ulna and radius, the muscle connecting there to the bicep, to create momentum to bring the ball forward, while the the biceps are the antagonists there, so that's that one. So here's some videos of bad form here. There's 2 of them.
Go ahead.
So as you can see, that would have been turned
Do
over to
something
the other
else now.
team. Sorry, the video is kind of glitchy. I'm not sure why, but
Go ahead.
these are bad form. See, the ball just doesn't go anywhere. And in this one,
Go ahead.
we'll watch this one. See, that's just not what should be done.
Go ahead.
So for some questions, what is the difference between good and bad form? In good form, I'll explain on the next slide actually. The use of this motion, what is it? And what is one position that is least likely to use a skill move? So I have the answers here. Good form, you use the momentum generated from your triceps here to release the ball over your head. The use of the skill is to get the ball back in bounds. And I don't know why the answer didn't come up here, but an example of a detrimental force that applies to the skill: wind resistance, or air resistance, wind, and stuff like that. So there's that.